We move away from the Spanish Grand Prix and go over to Monaco. For the first time since 2019, we race at the Principality. Welcome to the Monaco Grand Prix. It's the fifth round of the championship. It's 3 apiece. Hamilton has won 3. Verstappen has won 1. Going into here, can Hamilton make it 4? Can Verstappen make it 2? After this, we go on to the 4th to the 6th of June for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix and then a calendar change. France has now been moved up to the 18th to the 20th of June with the cancellation now of the Turkish Grand Prix. Austria gets another round on the 27th of June for the Styrian Grand Prix. Austria takes its normal Grand Prix still on the 4th of July for a week's break before the British Grand Prix at Silverstone, which will see a different timeout format, also as the introduction of sprint qualifying. After that, on the 1st of August, we go to Hungary for the summer break. Then Belgium, Netherlands and Italy form another back-to-back, followed then by Russia a week later. Then the 1st to the 3rd of October, we'll see the Singapore Grand Prix. Japan, United States, Mexico, Brazil, then Australia, Saudi Arabia and Abu Dhabi on the 12th of December round out the title. In terms of the Drivers' Championship, Lewis Hamilton leads the way by just 14 points to Max Verstappen. Then further behind, Valtteri Bottas has just got ahead of Lando Norris by 6 points. Charles Leclerc still very much in that fight for 3rd, followed by Sergio Perez, Daniel Ricciardo, Carlos Sainz, Esteban Ocon and Pierre Gasly rounding out the top 10. On the second page, Lance Stroll is on 5 points, the same as Fernando Alonso. This page has seen no changes after the Spanish Grand Prix. So then we'll see Yuki Tsunoda, who after a DNF last time out, no points on the board for Kimi Raikkonen, Antonio Giovinazzi, Sebastian Vettel, George Russell, Mick Schumacher, Nicholas Latifi or Nikita Mazepin. In terms of the Constructors' Championship, the order did not change after the Spanish Grand Prix, but the points have. Mercedes lead the way on 141 points to Red Bull on 112. McLaren are securing 3rd by 5 points to Ferrari, good old days of battling. Alpine are 5th on 15 points, AlphaTauri on 10, Aston Martin 5, no points for Alfa Romeo, Williams or Haas. It's time for the long runs to begin around the streets of Monaco in the Principality. This is Free Practice 2. Let's take a look around the Circuit de Monaco on the calendar since 1929. On it constantly since 1955. Taken 1 year off due to COVID, but now we are back. It's the trickiest and most demanding on the calendar. Start the lap, down now, out of the last corner of Anthony Nogues and really fly it towards the line. Uphill towards turn 1, Sandoval, drop down, 3rd gear corner, nail the inside line and accelerate up the hill, remembering to keep all of the speed up Beau Rivage towards now the top of Massenet, 4th gear corner, left-hander, right-hander now through Casino Square, down towards Mirabeau, avoid the bump on the left-hand side, hug the inside drain cover to take you round as you head down to the Grand Hotel hairpin, the slowest corner on the calendar, just 30 miles an hour, through Mirabeau 2, in front now past the boats at Portier. Underneath now, through the tunnel, your eyes are going to adjust as they flash back into the sunlight, down towards the Nouvelle chicane, drop down, 2nd gear corner, a quick flick left, double right, left again, as you hurtle down towards to back. 5th gear, lightly through, before flat out, blasting through the swimming pool section into the chicane. Keep on leg away from the barrier, keep the car straight as you head, braking into Rascasse. Last corner on the track, Anthony Nogues, full throttle, DRS open, hug the inside line towards the pit wall, take the checkered flag, and that's a lap of the Monaco Grand Prix circuit. Hello everybody and welcome up to the commentary box as we get ready and steady for free practice number 2 on the island of the Principality. Monaco is the best race on the calendar And I certainly can't get ready for practice 2 because now we are about to see the race runs, which means that for the next hour around this 2.074 mile circuit, the cars are going to be circulating at an average speed of 100 miles an hour, top speed only 182, elevation changes of 41.8 metres, 19 turns around this track. Down at Saint Devot in 2011, Lewis Hamilton sent it up the inside of Michael Schumacher. He did the same late on after the race was restarted. And unfortunately, Pastor Maldonado ended up in the wall at the Nouvelle Chicane the last time he raced here in the dying few laps. Verstappen versus Hamilton. Verstappen had a penalty, but is still going for glory. Not a patch on the battle between Senna and Mansell in 1992 at Rascasse and Anthony Noakes. Senna holding off for victory that day. 3 tyre compounds for this weekend: the soft, the medium and the hard. The soft is the softest, the C5 tyre compound, the medium the C4, the hard is the medium tyre compound in the C3 as well. Another hour ahead of us then for the practice 2 of the weekend. This morning we saw a very entertaining strategy as it was Sergio Perez who topped the timesheets, but Ian Birch alongside me for practice 2. Anything can happen. Ferrari looks strong, but it's time now for the Red Bulls and the Mercedes to strike back.
There wasn't much at all that was exciting about the practice 1.
Absolutely nothing at the moment that I can think of. It was dull as dishwater. Practice 1 this morning. The only interesting thing we got was the fact that Charles Leclerc has been given a brand new gearbox after he lost a lot of running, about 20 minutes.
But he won't get a penalty, though.
No penalty because he's used that gearbox for the first 4 races of the year. But he couldn't select 4th gear, so it's been required to change that gearbox for a new one.
What are Ferrari drivers like these days? You know, I remember when Michael Schumacher won when he could only have 1 gear.
Yeah, I do, to be fair. What was it? Stuck in 3rd gear?
Third gear.
Yeah, all around the track as well. Senna won, of course, the Grand Prix Brazil in 5th gear.
Excellent driving that day. Absolutely brilliant.
And there's a little boy there playing with what looks to be a mobile phone game at the moment. It just looked like he was turning the wheel at the moment. Coming up on 90 seconds to go until the green light. We have fixed the live timing issue that we've had for the previous, and by doing so, we've taken it officially from the FIA feed that we get up here in the box for the driver tracker, and we've put it back out, but I've spent the last 2 hours getting its paint job done, and that means it matches everything else. It's now black and white, and for once, that's going to be the timing graphic we'll stick with for the remainder of the season, because it's not temperamental like the one we get on FOM that we've got on the other 2 screens. So that is going to be permanently where it should be for the remainder of the year, and I'm liking it, as we're getting less than a minute to go until the start of practice 2. The cars will head out immediately.
Is that why you didn't eat your Cornish pasty?
Yeah, I've got half a Cornish pasty left and a boiled egg. I've got a hard-boiled egg for the end of this session, so I'm very much looking forward to that. Put a bit of, cut it into 4, put some pepper on it, and it's quite nice.
Actually, it was very, very good, that Cornish pasty. One of the best I've ever had.
I liked it, but I found it a bit too dry, so I was going to put some brown sauce on as well.
Brown sauce, you northerner.
Yeah. Well, you don't put red sauce on a pasty. Red sauce is more chips.
You don't put sauce on a pasty.
Oh, brown sauce you do. Bacon sandwich as well. But anyway, getting ready. We'll get into what's been happening both in Formula 1 and in the outside our commentary box from the past.
They put dripping on it.
FP1. What are you on about?
They put dripping on it, not brown sauce.
Oh, right.
Bit of dripping.
And we're getting ready. Cars.
When you're full, give it to a dog.
We don't have a dog. I suppose Megan could eat it.
Oh, my daughter is not a dog.
No, but we call her the Bloodhound because she can identify
For those
anything.
of you who are wondering, she reckoned that she did very well on her test today.
Yeah,
so
she sent a message.
She's quite happy.
She sent a text message into the family group chat. She said, my test went okay. The biology was the easiest. Chemistry, everyone agreed to, was difficult. And physics was okay. But overall, she's feeling confident. So, well done,
the session has started.
Yeah.
So the session has started.
Sorry, I just thought I saw someone at the side of the commentary box. But
we are next to a graveyard and a church.
Yeah, I thought it would be.
A church that dates back to the 1200s or 1000s.
1000, yeah.
1000.
One thing as well, that when we were decorating the house, we've now got a photograph of that, where the what house was actually supposed to be, with the church in the background. Fantastic. But yeah, the green light is on, the session's underway. Let's just talk a little bit about what's
I
happened
used
in
to play
between the
here
sessions.
when I was a kid, before
did,
the
yeah.
houses were built.
1979 this house was built, wasn't it? Which I find interesting.
I was a kid long before 79.
Just trying to identify a couple of things up here in the com box at the moment. Oh, there's our timing monitor.
So Charles has got out again.
Yeah, Charles back out on the track as I just adjust the monitors so we can actually see the driver
says
trackers.
Hi guys, how are you all?
I'm very well. How are you doing?
I'm a bit better than I was an hour ago, and not as good as I was 10 minutes ago. So
well, let's just update you what's happening in between free practice 1 and free practice 2. Charles Leclerc's been given a new gearbox after he was failing to reach 4th gear
I've
in
been
FP1.
given a new happy pill.
You've been given a new happy pill, but no, we left it. Now this is what happened. I'll tell it. So don't worry. We left the commentary box, which is located at the end of our garden area. We left the commentary box, and there's a police officer standing outside, speaking with other members of the family. They were doing a survey, weren't they, about how do you find the area.
So I left her to speak to you.
Yeah, I spoke to her. But so in the past hour...
She's been in here.
Yeah, she came into the commentary box, had a look as well, complimented the setup and everything. And But yeah, the strangest thing, leaving the commentary box to find a policewoman standing outside.
When the second police car came up, I thought you were done for, Josh.
Yeah, the second police car came up. So yeah, so there you go. I've been questioned by the police in between the two sessions, but it was nothing like how it sounds. It was literally just, they were doing surveys because they call the area where we are sort of a forgotten area. And they just asked, what do you like living here? I said, well, it's quite peaceful. I neglected to say it's quite peaceful until I start talking. And then I believe they might not like it as much. But no, it was quite fun to leave the back of the commentary box and then be questioned at the end of free practice 1.
If any of you can't sleep, you can always put Josh's commentaries on.
Yeah, that'll pretty much do it. Cynthia saying everyone is out on the track at the moment, and they are. We've got a car park, and Anthony Noakes as Leclerc comes up behind as well, with Raikkonen coming into the last couple of corners. Verstappen and Giovinazzi involved. Raikkonen blocking Leclerc down towards turn 1. We've got Sainz just ahead as well, and this is the problem. They're all going to go. This is what we're going to see in qualifying on Saturday.
We could have had this morning. This is virtually everybody's out.
Yeah, this is what we could see as well on Saturday in qualifying, with the fact that whoever's going to get a clear lap time without held up is what we're going to see. Lando Norris could go top of the board here in the Gulf McLaren, cross the line, and does do a 1:15.399. You can see the timing monitors on your screen right now, but I understand we might have frozen up here in the commentary, so that's something to keep an eye out. Back to you, Dad. And we're back.
I am pretty cold.
Yeah. And we're back. So
I don't know what weather you lot have got out there. I mean, I suppose it's really nice in Australia.
Would you like me to turn the heater up and cook your legs?
No, but it's I just go like that.
Yeah, putting Ian on the Barbie.
Ian.
I must admit, that took me a couple of seconds to register. We're having some encoding issues up here in the commentary box.
Usually takes him a couple of years to register.
There we go. Let's switch that off. That's what's causing the issues. Up here as well in comms box. Okay, we're back now live. So Norris.
We have got really bad rain.
Yeah, we do.
Outside our window.
Yeah, let's just we look okay on our screen. So apologies for the breaks up in the transmission. Really bad weather in our UK studio at the moment, and it's affecting the broadcast. But we've switched off the internet browser that was causing it, and we can now tell you it's Carlos Sainz who's just gone top on a 1:14.997. Lando Norris is P2 overall from Bottas, Perez, Vettel, the top 5, Stroll, Alonso, Ricciardo, Gasly, Giovinazzi, Ocon, Tsunoda, Mazepin, Schumacher, Leclerc, Latifi, Raikkonen, Russell, Hamilton, and Verstappen. Everyone set a time within 5 minutes of the session starting. So that's what's the impressive factor of it all.
Yeah, the sun's out there in Monaco today, which it wasn't. It's a bit overcast earlier.
It was,
actually, when they filmed the tyre sequence that you've just seen.
Yes.
On your TVs, it just rained.
Traffic jam. to back. Raikkonen held up by Sainz.
That was done on Wednesday, and they put them all by the side of the harbour there, and
Just chucked it down, didn't it?
and
Yeah.
it chucked it down. So if you look back at that bit, because it'll be on again this weekend,
Numerous.
you'll notice that the harbour side is wet.
So at the moment, what do you think of the McLaren Golf livery since the last? I love it.
I had visions of someone knocking into the first tyre, hitting the second tyre, then the second tyre hits in the first tyre, then all three of them roll into the harbour.
That probably would happen. I bet that would be quite interesting, trying to fish those tyres back.
So Megan, get your bike out and
head over to Monaco. Although you could probably just use a kayak at the moment at the back of our comms box because the
that's
water's
their
coming
bikes.
through.
There, both of them.
Yeah. Yeah, both of them. Yeah, and my go-kart Bessie.
Your go-kart.
Yeah, the go-kart. It's a pedal go-kart named Bessie after Doctor Who's car Bessie. Oh,
and a postman Pat sit-on ride thing.
That was Kelly Ann's, wasn't it?
Yeah, it has been. It's about 30-odd years old.
Still got its wheels, I think.
So Verstappen tops
yeah.
with Gasly, who is from the area, and Leclerc, who's from the area.
Leclerc basically grew up on these streets. Perez looking quite quick to the line, goes P2 over the board. So
Leclerc actually used to walk to school past the start-finishing line.
Yeah, I'm just going to pop my head out the back of the door for a second because I need to check something. You just keep talking.
So the only thing checked around here is the flag behind us. That's checked. We've got Lewis. He's just finding his feet there. I think he took a bit slow around that little chicane there. He's not getting any grip there. He's complaining in our ears.
Yeah. It is what I assume. The rain is hitting the internet lead quite hard, so that's why we're having some breaks in transmissions. It must be getting thingy on the line.
I glitch in, and not you.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, Verstappen top 113.961 at the moment. So let's see what's going to happen. What do you think of the McLaren Golf livery? We see it on now with Danny Ricciardo. I love it. I think it's a nice throwback to a retro.
It is a retro, takes you back and things like that. But the Golf thing is from about the late 70s, early 80s, isn't it? It's not, you don't go back. The original McLarens were just completely orange.
The one thing I don't like about the Golf livery is the fact that the overalls are blue. They're the same colour. The overalls on Golf cars are white. Steve McQueen in the movie, the two fingers.
Very good IndyCar driver
and
NASCAR driver, Steve McQueen.
And competed at Le Mans, didn't he? When filming the Le Mans 66, they entered a car, but it finished last because it had all the camera equipment in it, filming and everything, so there was no chance for it to get up there. On the order. Fastest first sector going to Perez at 19.317. Second sector Hamilton 34.438. Verstappen looking quick at the line, but he's got Kimi Raikkonen just in front of him. Verstappen does a 1:13.499 as we ride with Lando Norris.
Talking about the police, right?
Not the band.
No, my dad was a mechanic.
Yeah.
Right. He's an engineer, and he was a mechanic, and he used to tell this story about the local police got 2 new traffic cars, and they came back 2 days running after receiving them.
Yeah.
About the lights problem. This got to be sorted out. We can't have this. We're blinding people that were coming towards them, and the mechanics that were doing it couldn't find anything. They checked the electrics. The electricians checked the electrics.
Yeah.
Everybody checked the ride heights and things like that, right? And then they got my dad involved because he was the most experienced. And they turned around to him and said, "Look, the situation is that they're blinding the oncoming traffic when they turn the lights on at night.
Yeah.
What's going on? We can't find the answer, and they can't figure the answer." My dad had his thought, and your granddad. And he said to one of them, "When you bring it here, what you got in it?"
What in it?
"What have you got in it?" And he says, "Nothing. We're not allowed to bring anything here." He says, "Well, my lads will never set your lights up unless you have everything in it." And it's something people forget.
The weight.
You can adjust the lights now.
Yeah.
But back in the early 70s, you couldn't.
Because and then the weight of the car would be different.
Yeah.
So
when the traffic people put air of their equipment in the back of the car was up in the air like that.
Clever.
Yeah, the local TV company used to have Granada's estates, and they used to have a
Same
similar
issue,
problem.
yeah. Science, Synthol saying, Science the underdog. Oh, hang on a minute. Let's just, the graphics aren't wrong. That's right. Max Verstappen, a 113.499. Lewis Hamilton, 113.499. They are identical.
2 years ago, the last time that happened, from what I remember.
At this
it Hungary? Was it here?
Oh, Hungary, yeah. Sorry, it happened twice, didn't it? Yeah. But wow, look at that. So if you want any more proof that these two are in a championship fight and are right on it, they have set exactly the same lap time to the nearest 1,000th of a second. They've both done a 113.499, but maybe Verstappen might go faster this lap, and he has 113.241 for Verstappen.
The interesting thing is that Lewis has got Carlos in front of him. So he's got a good car in front of him.
And he's got the toe.
And Verstappen has Fernando in front of him. So they're getting the benefit of a little toe from a fast car in front.
And the record here from Danny Ricciardo, a 110.166 set in qualifying 3 back in 2018. And Hamilton's just done a 112.772. 4 tenths quicker than Verstappen. Gasly coming across the line. Norris goes P5, 113. Gasly now goes P5.
What is the lap record? Because I was expecting a 112.
110.166.
Yeah, but in practice too, I was expecting somebody to do 112, 112.5.
Well, I can have a look in this book I've got underneath the commentary box table.
Here's something he had here earlier. The book comes out again.
Well, you've got to find the right one here because I'm not actually sure it's got last year's classifications. Oh, here we go. Stats and records. You have to ask the most difficult questions, didn't you? Actually, I could probably do it, but it's on the laptop.
I love the way the Halo is now becoming an advertising board.
Yeah, that's the first year it was in was just board, wasn't it? It was just...
Yeah, if you look at the onboards from 2 years ago, virtually none of them had. And then all of a sudden, some of the drivers started putting their own... names of their social media pages on there.
Lap record officially here is a 114.260 set in the race. The fastest lap in 2019 was Gasly, a 114.279. Pole time 110.166 by Hamilton in the Mercedes. So maybe it's not Verstappen.
As you come down the hill, there is a thing that looks like a medieval archway.
Yeah.
That's the entrance to the hotel underground car park. So there must be another one, otherwise they can't use it.
Hotel de Paris and Hotel de Monaco, isn't there? There's two, isn't there, at the moment. But that cameraman and Martin Brundle standing right in the firing line. They have got the best seat in Formula One, I think, right there.
But also the most dangerous. You see the lad there, he has an helmet on.
Martin doesn't.
Yeah. And it's very unlikely someone will hit that, but it's not impossible.
He's down 10-15 at the swimming pool.
And that's you've got no catch fence at that side of Monaco. Everywhere else you've got catch fences, but at the Marshall points you haven't. And I just think that's a really dangerous. Martin's just telling you about the way it cuts up.
Wow, Martin is talking about the apex
We
speed.
had that.
Yeah.
We had that. There was.
Martin's enjoying it.
If you look at the pictures, if you've got the same pictures as us, right, how the side of the track is not only being rubbered in, but it's also breaking up slightly.
It's like the force of the cars going through.
The force of the way they go, and then they change, and that the downforce at that bit.
Yeah, you can see.
And if you hit that wrong. Which I believe Max did about 3 years ago.
Yeah, put it in the wall in FP3.
And then you hit that curb there, and then you hit it too far to the left, and you go into the wall.
And it's as soon as you go in the wall here, it's practically game over for a qualifying run. So you don't want to crash at all in free practice 3, something that Max has been having a lot recently. Perez goes across the board. And P4 for him, 113.053. Mazepin.
I saw Checo earlier talking to Lawrence.
Go on.
talking to Lawrence Stroll.
Yeah.
Lawrence is so big compared with these drivers.
He's more like a Bond villain at the moment, with the big
They
beard as well.
He's had his arm around Checo,
Yeah.
and and they were having a good laugh together. I think he really appreciates the job Checo did for what is now Aston Martin.
Oh yeah, won them a Grand Prix, of course, back at Shakir last year. And it did a lot more
He also
than his
did a
son
lot
did,
of development.
Oh
of that
yeah,
car.
well Perez was there since 2014, hasn't he? So he's had a
Mind
long
you,
time with that
Lewis
team.
and Valtteri did a lot of development for that car as well.
Yeah. Oh, also it reminds me as well. There's been rumours circulating at Red Bull with the fact that it looks like they're going to pinch somebody else quite high up at Mercedes as well.
I heard Toto having a conversation about this, and he said, "Well, it's because Brackley is only 13 miles away, and it's 30 miles between the two engine factories.
Yeah, so it's not a
The
slot
new,
either,
set up for Red Bull, but the Red Bull's head office is 13 miles away from Brackley.
So it's not that long a gap between either one of them.
There's only a certain amount of people with that sort of knowledge.
Yeah.
And the ones they've left behind have been trained by these guys, and they're the young up-and-coming things. And to be honest, I know they're putting a brave face on it, but Mercedes were expecting it. For Red Bull had to throw the money at it because of the fact that if they didn't, they wouldn't get the nice people.
And hopefully this is a big step up for Red Bull as they go forward to try and develop their own engine for the 2025 regulation change. Verstappen to the line, 2/10 off the pace of Hamilton. He's closing that gap ever so slightly, but had a great first sector, very poor sector 2 and 3. Cars now beginning to come back into the pit lane at the end of the first 20 minutes of this session.
Alonso was on the hard tyres this morning. What's he on now?
Alonso at the moment mediums.
So he's not doing as well on the mediums as he did on the hards.
Yeah, Alonso down in 14th place at the moment. He's done 10 laps on those, and George Russell's complaining in my earphone at the moment about the handling of the car, and he can't find the right setup.
Oh, we had a little slide for
Leclerc. Coming out of Raskas into Anthony Noakes as well, and that would have woken him up certainly. Last time he retired,
I thought he was going for a coffee at the coffee house.
I thought he was in the wall actually. Let's take a look at it. Comes out of Raskas, big slide, and that was expertly done actually to keep out of the wall. Nelson Piquet describes this place as trying to ride a bicycle around his front room.
The chief mechanic of Ferrari there turning around, looking at the others and going, "Phew."
Yeah, it's a bit of a relief.
That was nearly a rebuild.
And of course, for Leclerc, he missed all of practice 1. He only completed 3 laps this morning, was the slowest overall. He needs to get out there and get some times in. Ferrari looking strong here at Monaco because it's a low downforce circuit. Average speed here 100 miles an hour. It benefits their car, and they're showing it. Sainz second with Leclerc 6th, but catching up.
We were talking this morning about Sebastian and his English comedy that he loves and things like that. But Charles is the same because, he spent quite a bit of time in England and over the years. And he's actually seen Hello, Hello. And he does actually say to people, "It is I, Leclerc."
Yeah, he gets in on the joke, doesn't he? That's what I love about it as well. He's properly in on that joke. Unfortunately, though, David Croft and Anthony Davidson then come up as the 2 British airmen and sort of spoil it all.
Hello.
Yeah. As Sky go on ad breaks, we'll change to our driver tracker. Latifi, Leclerc and Sainz up there on the track at the moment. Big up actually to Tom Gaymore, who, if you remember watching on with us at the pre-season testing, he was one of the guests on the broadcast on day 2, I think, was it? He's commentating this weekend. He's taking the lead on the F1 TV pit lane channel, and he'll go to commentate on the Monaco Grand Prix today.
He also, when the Sky crew were stuck in traffic this morning on the way from Nice, he had to quickly join Alex Blundell in the commentary box for F2.
Yeah, and he said all he had was an entry list. Yeah. As well to compensate on, so that was something interesting.
There's 17 rookies in F3. How many's in F2?
Over about 20 different rookies, I think, over there.
Quite a few of them are from F3 though.
Yeah.
So,
by the way,
you know these people.
I've just looked through my messages. I have actually got a message from Tom Gaymore, and unfortunately, I haven't replied yet. Tom, I will reply later on after the session. But I think you're busy as well commentating, so that'll be fine. But yeah, so that could be fun. He's put a picture out that he was in the commentary box earlier on, and their commentary box doesn't look too dissimilar to ours. anymore.
It doesn't have a policewoman inside, though.
No, that's a different one. Yeah, I'll try. Actually, let's see if I can get that photograph up as we're waiting.
I said you should have taken a photo of the policewoman inside your commentary box with you.
And just explain what was going. just put that on Instagram and says, "Oh, this is what's happening." But yeah, that's what happened in between the two sessions.
I've noticed that I don't know where you are, but definitely in this country, all the adverts are coming back on for things like staycations and and that's
pretty much similar to ours.
Yeah.
At the moment, so yeah, that's Tom Gaver put that picture on of the Formula One commentary box at Biggin Hill, and let me tell you something, that's pretty much identical to ours. By the
Biggin Hill, okay, chaps.
Yeah, Biggin Hill, yeah.
Chockers away and all that.
The only difference is they've got lip mics, we've got headsets, and I would do anything to have the lip mics instead of the headsets. Would you actually use a lip mic if we had lip mics instead of these?
No.
You would try and get a headset still.
Yeah, I'm lazy.
Yeah.
I don't even like this. I don't.
Well, to be fair, yeah, Megan's changed her mind. You know.
Hang on. My record's about to end. Just got to do my program a minute.
Oh.
And that's 60 minutes of soul there. And now I'm going to put a little change in track because we're going to have. I've got the button changed. We're on the air on my radio. And yes, for the next, let's go back to a few years to the Now 69 album, and I'll be back in about an hour. Yeah, we're back.
Very funny. How long have you been playing that one? No, Megan's actually changed her mind at the moment. She said to me all those years ago when I said, do you want headsets or lip mics? And she said, I don't want to use a lip mic. I want a headset. And I could have swung for her because I wanted to use lip mics for a change. And so we bought these headsets instead. And now... 4 years later, she said, actually, can I use a lip mic? So Megan now wants to use a lip mic. I want to use a lip mic.
Well, these are half the price.
They are half the price, yeah. The price of these together is the price of one lip mic. But this was years ago when I could have got both.
Which is nearly £500.
300 and something or other was the combined.
458 for your lip mic.
That's the lip mic, yeah. So 100 quid cheaper.
No, dear boy, we've got to say no to this.
Actually, if you think about it, all three headsets in this commentary box probably cost less than one lip mic. How about that?
So let's get back to practice 2.
Oh, this is new.
7 minutes to go.
Breaking performance graphics now coming up at the Nouvelle Chicane. Who's the quickest? It's Max. Max is the quickest into the braking zone.
Direct line, whatever it's called, inside lane. They did a comparison this week.
Inside lines, yeah.
They got some news from Mercedes, and that's at the Spanish Grand Prix. They would have been able to get in front of Max, and then they decided not to because by undercut.
Yeah,
they decided not to because then. Max would have been able to do the same thing to them.
Max should have undercut.
But the line was there.
Yeah, it was another one, wasn't it? Spain was a. Let's have a look.
About lap 35, 36.
Yeah, round about that. And the problem was as well, it was a repeat from Portugal for Max. He pitted to try and get the fastest lap. It's like he gave up on the race lead.
That's what I said. I complained about that at the time. I said, why are Red Bull giving up just for 1 point? That's a mockery of this 1 point system because instead of having in battling away, you want to get Carlos Reutemann. He's been ill at the moment. But you go back to Carlos Reutemann's day, and he wouldn't have give up.
No, and
he'd have battled all the way to the end, even if he was half a lap behind.
I don't see why this point for the fastest laps in there. We don't get a point for pole position. Why do we get a point? Well, we do in the sprint qualifying, admittedly, but we don't get a point for pole position. Why do we get a point for fastest lap in the race? It doesn't make sense at the moment as well. Soon Medal, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I haven't got my glasses on at the moment. Says go McLaren, and then he says no. Norris is in 8th. Yes, Norris is P9 now. Yes, I think that's it. We haven't got our glasses on. It's a very small screen at the moment. And Ricardo in P15. Glad to have you along, though. Welcome to the broadcast. Ricardo is P15. Norris now just dropped down to P10 at the moment.
Yeah, but like Alonso's at 16, right? And Ocon was doing better this morning. Yeah. They're just doing a different strategy because they have to, in practice 1, they are learning about how the car's performing. Practice 2, you use the data from practice 1 to work out a strategy. And then you go out and send one car doing one strategy, one car doing another.
Yeah.
So it's not realistic about the real one. This is the practice for qualifying. Practice 3 is the one for the race.
Yeah.
They're all an hour long now, so they've got to condense everything into a smaller time scale. And so
It's all changed to what used to be.
people
the
were
normal
complaining
running.
that there we have.
Is that Latifi?
It is Latifi, I believe. It's not George.
It's down at the. Yes, it is. It's down at the Fairmont hairpin, and you're reversing on the racing line. Latifi. Now, he just came over the radio, actually, Latifi, to say the tyres are gone. He's done 6 laps on those softs.
Ocon is racing down on him, actually, at this moment.
Oh, he just turned in and locked up mid-corner. And just sort of got stuck. That could have been a red flag quite easily.
He's just not getting in the turning circles. What did Latifi say about that?
He said Latifi, the tyres were just gone. He said over the radio that he had no tyres left. As at the moment,
it's what I was saying this morning about you get the wrong line in a corner, 2 corners before, on certain parts of this racetrack, and you hit the third one.
At the moment as well, our timing graphics have gone back to being red dots at the moment, so I hope you can see that, because I can't all that well at the moment. They really are messing about with it. But looking good so far out here in the Principality, as Hamilton's up in the first sector by 0.3 of a second at the moment. Sim Medal also saying, Norris, why you 10th? Get to P1. I said 1, not 11. And yeah, he's down into P11. But he's in the pit lane at the moment, Lando.
It's because there's an exclamation mark. And Josh's eyes aren't good enough to see that.
Yeah, the like this commentary box.
It's why he has a 14-inch screen above him.
Yeah, if it was any smaller, the screen. Oh, Hamilton, big slide. Did he whack the wall? Coming out of the Nivelle chicane. He lost the rear. I think he might have just escaped that one by the skin of his teeth. And he has. And he's still faster. But he's poor in Sector 2. But he had a big slide as Bottas on the soft tyres goes top. 112, 107. And Gasly is saying there's something wrong at turn 12. That's down at to back. So he's not happy through to back. Yeah, there's something different at to back. Car coming out the pit lane. That was Mazepin as Hamilton stays P2. So Bottas top from Hamilton and Giovinazzi's in 3rd place. Strong performance there. This is what I said with Hamilton. Coming through the Nivelle chicane, takes too much curb, loses the rear, and almost in the barrier. Yeah,
and so just lost the traction on the rear.
Almost throws it into the barrier as well. That's a big save as well. That's almost what Leclerc did at Rascasse as well.
Done that onboard look really good.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Oh,
Let's
a lot of
if I'm on the onboard. And
do you see the vibration on the inside left there as well, coming down the hill? And that's the Formula E line when they raced here. The Nivelle chicane changed slightly for Formula E because John Todd didn't want and still doesn't want a direct comparison between the two series. Oh, Sainz is saying that he's not good with the brake balance buttons coming out of the pit lane. So double check them, and he doesn't want them having good qualifying because he's hitting and changing them when he's coming out the pit lane. So that's not good at all. So they've got to change those buttons up.
He's got to learn to flow and do that without actually looking that much. Just a glance down.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised.
It'll come to him.
I'm quite surprised. We're an hour and a half now into practice.
He's doing really well in the Ferrari, considering that this is only his 5th or 6th race.
Fifth race, yeah. And he's doing amazingly well. Car in the middle of the track, Nikita. And that was Nikita right on the racing line as well. Yes, it's difficult to get out of the way here, but he was on the inside line coming into the hairpin. That's not off the racing line because down towards the mirror bow, you have to go to the right to avoid the bump in the middle of the track.
And Carlos, as he went past him, said, "Oh, Nikita, are you bored?"
Car going straight on through Nivelle. It's a Williams and it's George Russell going straight on. Mazepin right behind as well. Schumacher, I think, is just coming out on the track now as well. Schumacher is at the... Well, I don't know where he is at the moment because he can't see him on my monitor. Oh, Schumacher... No, that's Hamilton with... Hamilton is with Mazepin, so maybe it is Schumacher up there. Yeah, it is Schumacher. Just
to say that they're on different strategies than what they were this morning. Look at Gasly now. He's a second behind.
Looking improving as Sainz goes P4. Martin Brundle's moved from the apex to the exit of the Nouveau chicane. There's the commentary boxes as well that I don't think anybody is using at the moment over in Monaco. And I'm surprised, actually. We're 90 minutes into this session. We're 90 minutes into practice. Completed the practice one, now we're halfway through FP2. No one's slung it into the wall yet.
No, not bad.
I'm very surprised that nobody
Not bad.
has.
Formula One, these cars, you've got so much wider wheels that you get a bit more grip. But as you saw with Latifi, you've got to be able to turn from the angle you approach. And Latifi got it slightly wrong, and that's why he had to reverse.
I love seeing that. Fans in the grandstand, a 50% capacity
crowd.
How
do you stop people watching around here? Most of them live over the track.
Yeah, so they literally just said, okay, you can come. You can come and have a look at watch of this. Some medals saying 6th again. Is that Latifi? Or who's in P6 at the moment? Perez P6, so I presume it must be Latifi at the moment. Norris, no 13th, go at least 8th. Sainz goes top by 0.3 of a second on a 1:11.796. Great job there for Carlos. And yet Norris, I think, is still in the pit lane. Don't know why he hasn't gone out. Now is the best time on the track to get out there, get on with the long runs, and get on with the qualifying runs. We'll keep an eye out.
Samed Depaka is obviously a big fan of Lando.
Yeah. George is in my ears at the moment saying that he's having a bit of oversteer moments coming up the hill. Verstappen goes P2, 1:12.081.
Well, Norris little Lando has just come out on an outlap, so
yes, he has,
let's see what he can do.
Yep, Norris now back out on the track. We'll keep an eye on him with interest. Gasly goes P6, 1:13.027. Hamilton's on a time, but had a bad first sector. Nearly in the wall at the exit of Anthony Noakes as well. 3-time winner of the Monaco Grand Prix. Last winner here back in 2019 after we took that year off due to COVID. And we're back now, and let's see what the champion can do. He hasn't had the best of luck with Monaco. 3 times winner, yes, but it could be a little bit more interesting with it.
You'd get the cladding off that block of flats, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would, to be fair. We've seen what damage that can do.
Grenfell, yeah. Awful.
And more recently as well, a building caught fire in London as well. One of the government buildings, isn't it? There was a fire outside with the cladding still there. Why couldn't it say in my ears at the moment? Concentrate on the radio now. Concentrate on the chat. Don't interrupt. Go on.
The government put cladding all over the place on the public buildings. The way you made a 1960s building look modern was to put this cladding on. But there's different ratings of cladding, and the Grenfell taught them a lot, and it's about time they did something about it.
They are trying to take them all down, aren't they? The skyscrapers and the houses in the sky they called them, didn't they, back in the 60s?
Oh, you mean the
tower blocks? Yeah.
Getting rid of some of the estates in London, yeah.
Well, they've demolished the ones around our way as well, which is it does make it a bit of a different.
That's where we
look.
park at Wembley.
Oh yeah.
On the edge of Broadwater Farm.
Yeah, they destroyed loads around Wembley, didn't they, to build Wembley?
They have destroyed a lot of the area around Wembley. Wembley is...
They destroyed Wembley?
Yeah.
Let's say
15 to 20 years ago, Wembley was in the middle of an industrial park.
Yeah.
Now, we're on the edge of one of the most notorious estates in London, where the riots were. And now, you've got the Ritz Hotel, you've got Hilton,
all the way around, yeah,
and lots of office blocks and high-quality shops and restaurants and things like that. It's really, really changed. And actually, anybody who anywhere in the world that got British TV and watched The Bill, right?
Yes, yeah.
Sun Hill Police Station is actually on the north side of Wembley, on the approach to Wembley. It's now a glass.
Big lock up! That was Schumacher nearly into the back of the Red Bull of Perez. Mazepin almost getting involved in that one too. He's had to back off a little bit. Little lock up coming into the swimming pool section. And Ricciardo's not happy with one of the Ferraris. Mazepin decides now's the chance to box. And they're all getting caught up with each other at the moment. And they are bringing the build back, actually, just to go back to your point as well.
Are they?
Yeah, they're bringing it back. Continuation, not a reboot. Oh, Vettel's hand's bleeding. Oh, something stuck in... Vettel's saying he's super emotional. There's something stuck in his eye, and his hand's bleeding. So something's got in.
Got in there.
And so Vettel's now racing around there with his hand bleeding and something stuck in his eye. Hamilton had that here a couple of years ago, my goodness, as Danny Ricciardo getting caught up right behind Sebastian Vettel down at the hairpin there.
Yeah, Sebastian has a problem.
Yeah.
Now, it's clearly affecting his driving. We should be having a virtual safety car here.
Oh, do you see Gasly swearing over the radio as well as he's been held up? Do you see Vettel there just waving to Danny Rick to say sorry? Coming up, Beau Rivage. Gasly's really swearing over the radio, saying that the Ferrari needs to open his eyes. We're in Monaco.
To be fair, that I think he was talking about the
everyone
Aston
else.
of Seb. And to be fair, the rest of them don't know that Seb's got this problem.
Seb is at the moment really bad, and Sue Medal says 456. No. Norris, go back to 13th at least. Yeah, Norris P5 at the moment. And Verstappen saying that somebody's bleeped his lap, and now he's got no rear grip. Stroll and Russell come into pressure. Giovinazzi, Raikkonen, Latifi and Tsunoda are all in the pit lane. Everybody else is out on the track. Trying to find a gap here in Monaco is becoming impossible at the moment. And Verstappen saying that he couldn't call his rear tyres down because he had to get out of the way of everybody else. So it spoiled this lap. So 23 minutes to go in the session. If this is any indication what we're going to get in qualifying, it's going to be a very interesting qualifying session. As Verstappen almost put it in the wall at the exit of the Nouvelle chicane, just like Hamilton didn't touching the wall, kissing it out of tobacco.
Sainz doing well in the Ferrari in two different sessions now.
Yeah, this looks proof to me as they're all getting backed up again at Raskas. It's Stroll, Verstappen. At the moment, Gasly's just behind. Stroll's coming down pit lane.
I don't remember a year when you didn't have this traffic problem.
And this is practice too. Qualifying is going to be insane. Especially the dying minutes of Q1. It'll be all right when we get into Q3, but Q1 is going to be a nightmare for that 18 minutes. And now Lance Stroll saying that he thinks his hand clipped the neutral button at the moment as well. And Sumatel's now saying, yes, Norris, let's go. You've got this, Norris. And yeah, he's P6 at the moment and still circulating out on the track. Sainz top.
Yeah,
I thought you were going to say something.
I'm just wondering if they were trying reverse psychology like Beth was last time.
Possibly. It might be working as well. I think Beth's asleep at this point as well. She tends to flip in and out, doesn't she, the sessions. Unusual as well. I just had the thought, it is a Friday, but it's Thursday today.
It's Thursday today.
Not Friday.
Friday is a bank holiday in Monaco.
Yep.
And, they've got to recover from usually, but I don't think it's happening this year. This fashion show.
I think and that's a hit the wall and jump over for one of the McLarens. I can't see which one it is. It's Lando Norris. He had a mistake coming into the swimming pool section, bouncing over the curbs as well and over the sleeping policeman. Doesn't look like it's damaged anything, but a little bit of a scary moment there for Lando Norris as Perez comes through the swimming pool section. They're on it now, aren't they, completely? And who's in front? It's one of the
I think this last 5-10 minutes has got more action in it than the whole of practice one.
It has, and I hope the race is like this as well on Sunday. That'll be very exciting. And, of course, at Monaco, you can overtake, but it's extremely tricky. But they've opened it up a bit more in a couple of years.
Like I was saying earlier, that practice 3 is your testing things for the race.
Yeah.
Practice 2 is traditionally when you practice your qualifying lap. And it's been done to an hour now, and we're getting a lot more action here at Monaco.
A couple of cars coming into the pit lane then. Sainz Hamilton are.
And that's why they're tripping over each other, because of the fact that they haven't got enough time to actually spread it out.
Because they need to get on their race runs and the quali runs as well and just have constant lap times. And that's, as you say, they're stuck behind each other. And at least they're going to get good data to see how to call the car being trapped behind another driver. 78 laps ahead of us on Sunday. This race usually goes an hour 45. in the dry as well, because
Soft's coming off.
Yeah, softs going off, mediums will probably go on. But the chances this year, actually, I've looked at the figures. Chances of a safety car here, it's been deployed. The safety car has been deployed a lot here at the moment as well. Let's have a look and see if I can see this Sunday stats. 13 races here have featured a safety car period. The safety car being called out 25 times total in Monaco. The most here is 4, which happened in 2010. And the 2018 Monaco Grand Prix was the first not to feature a full safety car period since 2009. So
well, that's one way of, if you've got a problem, taking a photo. That's the first time I've seen that in a long, long time.
I think that's down at the Williams, yeah.
Yeah, they're taking a photo so he can enlarge it.
That's a clever idea, yeah. We do that a lot, don't we, as well?
Yeah.
With a couple of things that we, like cat fingers on the cars go wrong or need to identify something, just quickly take a photo, zoom in, there we go. Print it out. Change up the brightness as well, that usually helps. But yeah, in total, 6 races at the Monaco Grand Prix have been red flagged. Most recently was 2013, when Max Chilton and Pastor Maldonado made contact. Maldonado went flying into the barrier at the back, blocked it, and Joe Bianchi came through and hit the side of it, broke off his front wing. And the race got red flagged and restarted. And who won that day? Weber. Weber went on to win.
Martin's at Rascat.
No, Weber didn't win in 2013. It must have been Rosberg. It was Nico Rosberg, yeah. And yeah, Martin at Raskas. Raskas as well. I wish we had that camera angle, because that looks a little bit more like how it used to in the late 90s.
It's too dangerous.
Yeah.
For the race.
Oh, yeah, completely. But, I mean, I liked the old Raskas. If anyone remembers it, before they changed it in 2004 when the new pit lane came in. But the old Raskas was fantastic. It used to be a lot more squared off.
What's those little dots on the floor?
It must be something for the actual track stuff. Well, maybe don't forget as well. Yeah, that's a road. That's also part of the nightclub area, so maybe it's something to put those in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can see what you mean. There's like holes.
Holes, yeah.
To hole. It looks like maybe canopies. I don't know. Not canopies. What are they called? Big things with tents.
I know that particular bit was favourite for Sky used to use.
Yeah, they used to.
Their outside broadcast at that bit when the track was closed.
Yeah, they used to do all their broadcasting for there, didn't they? The exit to back Raskas, yeah.
Nico was.
Raskas, I think, is one of the most popular and most famous corners in Formula One, but it has been neutered to get more of a straight line now for the swimming pool section, and they can't really put it back to how it used to be because the pit lane's there now. So it's sort of slightly heartbreaking, because it used to be a complete little chicane area, didn't it? As we were talking about, I think, in practice 1. I do miss it, because you used to get so many crashes in there. I mean, who was it who ended up backwards and upside down in 96, 97? Someone ended up in there. But yeah, it was really nice seeing drivers push to the limits in that section.
Well, this track pushes every driver to the limit.
16
I
minutes
think I don't think Sonoda really knew what he was coming to here.
Never raced here at all. As you said in practice 1, he's learned it off of simulator and his own PlayStation game.
Yeah.
Which F1 2021 is coming to both the Xbox One, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, and PS4 and PS5 and PC.
Sonoda's just over 3 seconds behind Leclerc, who's top.
Is it a question? I hope he can. Russell's saying, can I go racing, get on with it? Yes, he can. So it's a question, can Tsunoda actually make the 107% rule? Because we've seen Johan Jaluvela fail to make it in F2. The qualifying that was just happened. So he won't be allowed to take part in the race, because at no point in the weekend has he made it through 107%. So he was 6 seconds off. Which in F2, it's the 106%.
You can't have a mobile chicane in these races. Yeah. That's why the percentage rule was brought in. You can't have someone that's going to cause problems for every other car on the track.
I'm amazed.
You've got to be able to do a Formula One race. This was brought in because if you're constantly going round somebody on the track, it affects everybody's race, and that's not fair.
Who was the last driver to do that in Formula One before the Hasses?
It helps with the super licenses now.
Yeah,
that you do get professional drivers. There's no amateurs out there at all.
Sure about that?
Mazepin.
Yeah, where was I going with that one? I'm just waiting at the moment to see Mazepin in the wall, because I know a lot of people on Twitter and social media have been waiting to see where he's going to go in all throughout the build-up actually to this race. I've been seeing things like somebody edited the 1966 Grand Prix film into the crash at Monaco they've put Mazepin's face over it going into the harbour.
Of course, the king of around here was Damon Hill's dad.
Yeah, Graham Hill, 5 times the winner. They called him Mr. Monaco. Senna won 6, didn't he, in the end? But Senna always said he doesn't hold a candle to Graham, because Graham did it in the 60s when there was nothing separating you from the harbour.
So Jackie, if you look at the record books, did it 3 times in Formula 1, but he also won in Formula 3 in 71.
Yeah, I can give you this actually, because Senna won it 6 times, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93. Maybe he didn't win in it. Yeah, maybe he did win in 80. No, he didn't win in 88. Graham Hill won it 5 times, 1963, 1964, 65, 68, 69. Schumacher won it 5 times, 94, 95, 97, 99, 2001. Alain Prost won it 4 times, 84, 85, 86, and then 88. Sterling Moss 3 times, 1956. The brilliant one in 1960, and the underdog David Goliath 1961.
And what do you do when you're in qualifying? If you don't want anybody to beat your time, you do what Michael did and
put it at the end of the Rascasse chicane area and just sort of hold your hands up and say, no,
I got it wrong.
Yeah, the car just wouldn't turn. I mean, I know he could see I'm putting it into position, but yeah.
Well, it wouldn't turn and it wouldn't work with the stewards, and
got
he
thrown
was
to the back.
thrown to the back.
Who won in 2006? Oh, would you believe it'd be Fernando Alonso who inherited pole position off Michael? Yeah, Alonso got that victory, yeah. But yeah, that was a low point for Michael as well. There's 3 low points in Michael's career everyone looks at.
And we just had the weirdest thing. Lando just asked if he could go to the toilet.
Well, hang on a minute. He's only got 12 minutes left. He can
6
hold it.
minutes
get out of the car,
before they were going to get him out of the car.
Yeah, and they've got to go back out and remember to do the practice start. So no, I would keep him in the car.
That'll teach him to go round and have dinner at.
Yeah. Well, Sumedel, maybe you could get on the blower to McLaren and say get him out of the car if you want him out of the car, because he has said, "Come on, Landon, finish him." Well, right now he's trying to go to the bathroom. What was I talking about?
Daniel's doing a different strategy. He might be doing a heavier run than other people.
Yeah, that was it.
More fuel in the car, the heavier, and he might be getting the data for the start of the race, whereas Lando could be doing the midsection by the look at where they are. 3
times Michael Schumacher was caught a cheat. 1994 when he hit Damon Hill at Adelaide, 1997 when he hit Jacques Villeneuve at Jerez, and 2006 at Monaco when he put it in the wall at Rascasse. But I think there's a 4th time that everyone forgets about. And when he put Barrichello towards the pit wall in Hungary.
Yeah.
That was a very dangerous manoeuvre.
They have not been friends.
Not since,
even before Michael's accident. They haven't been friends since.
It was a very dangerous manoeuvre.
He would love to speak to Michael now.
Oh, yeah, completely.
Because of what happened to Michael. But no, Barrichello and him stopped being friends that day.
It was a very dangerous manoeuvre, and Michael got reprimanded for that one.
I think Rubens would have killed him if he got hold of it.
Oh yeah, I think it would have. Yeah. Also, talking about Monaco, it was another thing as well because 2012 was the last time Michael got pole position here.
Because it's Michael, people don't believe, because it's Michael, one of the greatest of all time. Until Lewis came along. And but because it was Michael was so revered, everybody didn't believe his excuse, which was that he just misjudged it. I wasn't too sure at the time which way to think there, because I knew Michael could be ruthless, but I also knew that him and Rubens were quite good friends before that.
Barrichello sort of went for the move very late, but Schumacher did almost put him in the wall, and I don't know. It's a tricky one. The stewards gave him a penalty for it, but that cost him at the next race.
It's a bit like Nico and Lewis when in Spain, where Nico forced Lewis onto the grass. Lewis then spun around and hit Nico.
Very similar, actually. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, both Mercedes actually thinking about it with Schumacher and Rosberg. Kimi being told the brakes are too hot, lift off please, and cool them down a bit. Verstappen still circulating. Ferrari 1-2. Leclerc's gone to the top of the board with a 1:11.684. So Charles Leclerc is on top with Carlos Sainz second. Ferrari 1-2 in Monaco. That's something. They haven't won here since 2017 when Sebastian Vettel won and Kimi Räikkönen finished second. Before that, they hadn't won since 2001 when Michael Schumacher took victory. Admittedly, that day, David Coulthard lost out because his launch control failed on the formation lap and was just sort of left on the line, had to start at the back.
The corner speeds, the Ferrari's doing well in the corners.
Yeah, was it 8.2 for Sainz and Leclerc's a 10th off. Hamilton is 10th and a bit off, actually, as well. They're pretty much similar with him and Leclerc.
10th's a lot in this,
yeah.
Especially when there's, 16 corners here?
Yeah, I'm right about that. Actual corners as well. A little bit of a lock-up coming into the Mirabeau at the top of the hill. There are two Mirabeaus here. A Mirabeau at the top of the hill as you head down to the Fairmont hairpin, and then it is the one just before Portier. That's Mirabeau 2. But they just call it Portier.
Can you see one from the other? Because it's a mirror.
No, actually, because there's a great big cliff in the way. You can't see. You can look up. I think if you looked over from Mirabeau 1 down to Mirabeau 2...
Was it Mr. Claven, this cliff?
Oh, dear. No, but you're dressed as the postman and delivering.
Good evening, everybody.
Yeah, but you're dressed... That's Norm. You're dressed as Cliff, though, with the blue. And
I know, that's why I went like that.
Actually, with the facts you come out with, you could be... Some of the times you could be Cliff. Thinking about it. We've got a yellow out the track, and I don't know where. Can you see anybody? Alonso again, I think, because
he
he's
used
slow.
to fly from Ireland.
Yellow, yeah,
to do the show.
Yellow sectors.
He lived in Ireland.
Yellow sector 1 and 2, and I can't see any cars stopped on the track, but it is a Oh, we've got a Haas in the wall. Please
and
tell
a
me.
deflation.
Please tell me. Go on. Oh, it's Mick Schumacher. It's the other one. Mick's hit the wall and has punctured the rear tyre. So, yeah, he's still going. He's down towards Mirabeau. It's not Nikita Mazepin. It's Mick Schumacher who's touched the wall. Now,
on this track, I would park that up as soon as he can. Because of the fact that he's going to be... he's already got suspension. He's broke the suspension on the rear.
Yeah, where's he done it?
His left front is in the air at stages. Look, he just slid.
Top of the hill.
Got on the dirty side of the track and just lost control at the back.
Coming up through Beaurivage, top into Massenet for Casino Square, just gets on the dust, losing it.
We always said Schumacher would just park it.
Yeah. I think we just cursed him, actually, with that, touching a wall. Is this on board with Alonso? No, this is Ocon.
To be fair, Alonso did something similar and got away with it in the first session.
Yeah. Can I just say, well done to Sky Sports F1. We've got an Alpine team principal, so they've put the onboard on of Esteban Ocon while there's a car circulating on track with damage. Well done, Sky. Genius there once again. Well done. I'm starting to get a bit sick of Sky Sports, to be fair, with the amount of coverage they're not showing us this year. They've missed quite a fair bit recently that we've had to pick up with on several things. Rumour coming around that we might be getting the pit lane channel a lot more. There's Schumacher looking the tunnel. And this is where he touched the wall as well at the exit. As you see, replay now, and he's had to negotiate it so far.
Channel 4's director and producer use a lot of the onboards.
Yeah,
rather than the actual previously broadcast stuff.
Yeah, because they can edit it in. Yeah, they can edit it in. Now, there are 2 world feeds created. There's one for Sky Sports, one for terrestrial broadcasters, and one for highlight broadcasters. And,
that's 3.
there's 3, yeah. And Channel 4 take the highlight one. And Esteban Ocon just been told that he's going through the tunnel very slowly. We've just seen it on board, so that delays a little bit. So this is... Oh, he stopped it down JFK
I thought
Avenue,
he would stop there. That's then that was the corner we were talking about in practice 1.
Ironically,
where there used to be... That used to come out a bit more there and go across more. And people like DC have just slid
DC hit
heavily into it.
Button hit it and got concussion. Perez hit it and was Perez, I thought, was actually dead when he hit that.
But it's actually a very good place to park now. Because if he'd have carried on round there, he would have broken the floor completely.
Yeah, ripping into shreds. I thought Perez had died when he hit that back in 2011 because it was difficult because he slung into the wall and it was a hard sideways impact.
The G-force was one of the heaviest in Formula 1 history, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was up there with Buttons when he crashed in 2003. But yeah, no need for a red at the moment. They can clear this onto yellows. Now, why are this a yellow flag? Because he's way down JFK Avenue. In fact, where he is actually, where Mick Schumacher's parked, two little facts. One, that's where Michael entered his race in 2004 when he had his front wing off after he hit Montoya. And two, that is actually JFK Avenue is the old run-up to back and the old part of the track where the cars used to be back in 1929. Red flag has come out, by the way. The red flag is out. The session has been stopped. Why? I don't know.
Because you can't have a situation where somebody comes down that hill and
loses
loses it and goes into that car backwards.
Well, here's the first red flag with 4 minutes to go, and this could be crucial for everybody because this could be losing them their practice start times. Is it really the red flag situation that we need right now?
I think it is.
Because it's way out the way. There's a lot of braking zone down there.
Yeah, but we've just been mentioning the slammingness of getting that situation wrong.
Yeah, and if he locks up, actually goes down. Because that's the Formula E used to race down there, of course, as well.
Yeah, that was part of their track.
Yeah, the bridge section. This is JFK Avenue as well, named after JFK. No other way around that, really, is there? Renamed back in the 60s. It used to be the station road.
I think he's put it there because he followed the sign which says "Parking La Costa."
There is actually a Costa just next door, isn't there?
Look, it says "Parking La Costa" on the tree.
And there's a coffee shop just alongside there as well. That's why the red flag's out. We've got the confirmation of why the red flag's out. The barrier is damaged. The signage has been ripped up. And because it's thick paper, it's left on the racing line. So they've got to get out there and pick it up. So that's why the red flags come out. And this is a replay of it. Just lose it at the top of the hill and scrapes alongside it. Yeah, the barrier's been ripped along, hasn't it?
It's broke. His rear suspension broke. He did well to actually get it as far as he did.
Yeah, he did. Oof. Actually, that's and we've just had confirmation from Lando Norris's race engineer. They are going to restart this session so they can do the launch. As you see, broken rear suspension. So this is going to be a short red flag. We'll get going ASAP because they need telemetry data to do the practice starts. And here's the FIA radio. Wow. So, the FIA might... We just had to stay quiet there to listen to it because that's a new feature that we saw back in Spain, didn't we? With Toto Wolff and Michael Masi.
You can speak to Michael Masi.
Yeah, you can speak. We can now hear the conversation between Michael Masi. The McLaren engineer just asked, Michael, are you going to restart the session to do the launch? And he said, we're just trying to get this car out of the way at the moment.
Why is Lando in the pits were being asked? And Dan has said, somebody give Schumacher a toolbox.
Oh, yeah. Get that rear suspension back out. The reason...
I think he means more than a toolbox.
Yeah, new wheel, new suspension units. The reason...
The thing that I'm worried about there
yeah.
is that he's put that Haas in with so much force and he's clearly broken the suspension. Has it gone into the gearbox?
Could be. It was
that
the
engine mounting.
It was at that part of the hill, wasn't it? So that part of the bodyworks, we'll keep an eye on that. The reason Lando's back in the pit lane is because everyone's back in the pit lane because the red flag is out. The session has been stopped at the moment.
Obviously, you've got over a day to correct anything goes wrong today because it's Thursday, not Friday.
Yeah, so tomorrow is a day of rest. That's best news for all of us as well, that we get a day off. And practice 3, Megan was supposed to be with us.
McLaren said this might be the end of the session. Well, he was asking Michael...
are they going to restart?
Because the practice starts at the end of the session. They still want to do them, but I don't think there's time.
Casley's being told over the radio, keep it down with the comments. Because, Gasly's been told on the radio, let's keep it down with the comments. Let's just try and get the session done. So Gasly's very frustrated and his team are saying, let's just keep it down.
I think session's over, really.
The session will not be restarted. That's it. The session is done. So Michael Masi has confirmed the session is over. And for the first time since 2019 at Singapore, Ferrari are 1-2 in a practice session on legitimate pace. Charles Leclerc fastest at his home circuit with Carlos Sainz second. Lewis Hamilton is third, Max Verstappen fourth, and Valtteri Bottas fifth. Ferrari are back. because of Monaco.
Lando is in 6th.
Yep, Lando P6 overall. Gasly 7th. Perez, Giovinazzi, Vettel complete the top 10. Raikkonen, Alonso, Stroll, Ocon, Ricciardo, Russell, Latifi, Mazepin, Schumacher and Tsunoda. 3, 2, 1. And that's it. Checkered flag. Session is over. And we end it behind the red flag. I said that we hadn't had a car in the barrier. Last 5 minutes, get stopped with a red flag. And I'm feeling a bit bad that they're not going to let them out to do practice starts. They'll have to do practice 3 now.
There's a session that, you know, the one thing about it being on a Thursday is that it gives you all this data and to analyse and things like that, an extra day to do it. But it's a bit like you're going in at half time and coming back 2 days later to do the second half.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, isn't it? Now we're going... Well,
There's no flow at Monaco there is in all the other tracks.
I'm going to wake up tomorrow and think I need to get to the commentary box and realise there's nothing to do.
And if you have a bad day on a Thursday, right, you wallow about it for 2 days.
Didn't Lewis Hamilton fly back to the UK after a bad day in Monaco? We grew up with his family and flew back at the end of that night.
I think he went to his sister's.
Yeah, he did something, didn't he? And we were all really surprised when he came back.
I wasn't.
Next day.
He suffers a lot from anxiety.
Yes,
Lewis.
he does. Yeah.
And his sister's very good for him, and he goes and plays with the kids and just relaxes and he's doesn't get many chances to be a normal person.
No, he doesn't. Jetting all the way around the world as well. Lives in Switzerland, Monaco, New Zealand and the UK. Lewis as well, 4 residents across the globe. And he tries to spend as much time as well in the UK at the moment, with it being pandemic and COVID. Although he does live across from Monaco with, as you said, Eddie and Nico all in the same apartment building. In fact, nearly all the drivers live in the same building as well.
Eddie and Lewis live next door to each other.
Yeah, that's why Eddie's here this weekend as well, because he's literally just got to come out of his apartment block onto the track.
Paul actually lives in the one round the corner, doesn't he?
Yeah, Paul lives here as well. He gets to go home at the end of every night and sleep in his own bed.
Yeah, he wouldn't live in the same block as Eddie because, you know...
I think Martin...
That wouldn't make sense having Grandad round the corner to babysit, would it?
I think Martin...
Think about it. You should have got an apartment there.
I think Martin Brundle's staying with David Coulthard. Steve Jones is staying with Mark Webber. Eddie's staying in his own apartment building as well. I don't know where Alex Jakes is staying. Presumably he's staying with one of the other members of the team.
Isn't the princess, isn't she Australian?
Yes. I want to say, I think
she wants you a swimmer.
I think so. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Long
I know
time
because
ago,
she gets on really well with Webber, doesn't she?
Yeah. Well, they all had dinner together. Do you remember a couple of years ago they did that feature and they all had dinner?
I remember DC going round with his Royal Highness. And this guy was crossing the road and it was Webber.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
The people think that was set up. It wasn't. Webber was actually going to the shop for some milk.
Oh, it was, yeah. Right, that's it. Session over then. Surprising everybody by how early it's been
that
called.
was his excuse anyway.
Yeah, probably just knew where the filming was.
Yeah.
Saw the call sheet. So, Leclerc fastest on home soil with Sainz second. Lewis Hamilton third. Is this real pace of Ferrari? I can't see why it would. Really? I think
it gives them a boost. I think Sainz is doing well. And I think that made Leclerc pull his socks up.
Yeah.
But no, I think they were on lighter runs than.
Yeah.
I think they Hamilton and Verstappen were. How can you put it? Quite happy to see them in front of them.
Yeah, because it means that one of them isn't in front of the other. Yeah. So that's it. We'll be back.
I think the true pace is Gasly and Norris.
Oh, yeah, for sure. They're 7th and 6th at the moment. They've got genuine pace. Bottas, I think, is holding something back.
And Giovinazzi's doing very, very well today.
Vettel's improving, P10, but can he get back into Q3? That's the question.
Well, he's always got his comedy to fall back on.
Yeah, the comedy that has
comedy
to be explained
clubs
by
will be
people,
open again soon.
They're open now.
Are they?
Yeah, pubs are open. So the comedy
You're
clubs
joking.
Are open. No, they're open. Oh, yeah, try and be. Anyway... so how are you going to be spending your Friday? I think I know how you're going to be spending it.
I'm going to have my second COVID jab.
You are indeed. Whereas me, I have to have a COVID test and then I'm going to the pub. So, yeah. That's going to be fun. I get to have a relaxing evening because I'd have to. Oh, I've got to work Saturday morning thinking about it. So maybe not that relaxed.
You meaning you're leaving it all to me?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, Megan was supposed to be with us, but she's decided to go out with friends as well. So she'll be back for qualifying. More important things in her life than commentating. I don't know what she's thinking. She thinks she's going to get away with not doing any broadcasting over this next 3.5 months.
It's a very stressful period, and
Yeah.
she's got a nice group of little friends.
It's going to be fun
And them to go out and just have a little bit of a let the hair down a bit. That would be fantastic for her.
Don't say that to Megan. If she lets her hair down any further, Rapunzel will be done as a world record holder. Right, we'll be off then for practice 2. We'll be back Saturday live for free practice 3 and qualifying, the race as well on Sunday. Tomorrow you can watch the highlights for the 2 IndyCar races, the Texas XPEL 375 and highlights of the Indianapolis Grand Prix as well. They'll be on at 6 o'clock and 8:30 on the YouTube channel, just in the premiere format, so watch whenever you like. And moments from today, I think FP2 was the highlight.
Yeah, it was very, very good. There was a good 10, 15-minute session just 5 minutes before the end.
Yeah.
It was ended by Mick hitting the
wall.
wall. But before that, the 15 minutes before that was very good. I thought Sainz was doing well. And as I said, Gasly and Norris, I think, are the true pace there.
Yeah.
And of the others, Ocon and... them and Ocon and Alonso, I think, were on slightly different things to what they were this morning.
Ocon,
and I think that's why they weren't doing as well as this morning.
Alonso on
and
the
I think they will be challenging in qualifying as
Alonso on the softs, Ocon was on the Ocon on the softs, Alonso on mediums. So split strategy, yeah. Right, we're off here then. We'll see you on Saturday. Don't forget, tomorrow, no action on the track for Monaco. It's a day of rest. We'll have the IndyCar highlights. We'll be back live on Saturday. Thanks for your company today. Bye for now. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy Friday.